So after 2 years of this thing living in this bag environment, it's going to be going into here. So this is what we got. Just opened it up. Has not been opened for 2 years. Okay, so it's pretty entwined here. See if I can figure this out. Looks like there it is. That's it right there. That's it. In a nutshell, it's all in this deep bag going in here. It's all in this bag. This outer bag within trapping the environment, which is actually inside these thinner bags right here. So it's about to get a whole new environment. It's going in here. Put some dirt in it yesterday. This dirt hasn't even had a chance to start growing yet, but it will. It's going to end up growing like this one over here, but it's a bigger container than that one. So let's see what happens when I cut some of this bag away, because I don't want to just rip it out. So I cut the larger bag away, and go down in here. That's full of the algae slash probably where it's getting all of its nutrients from. So I don't want to just lift this out as is. I'm going to cut more of this away as I go. Let me get a better picture here. Oh, no. Put this on pause and see what I got going on here. So that's an avocado, 2 years worth of growth, trapped in a bag. Trapped in several bags actually. This outer bag here has been holding the moisture, growing algae, which has to be a major source of nutrients for this whole thing. We're going to drop that down. I want to get as much of this back. I want to get as much of this as possible into this container here. And some of this might break off when I go to push it in there because it's pretty rigid. But if it does, I'm going to let it just fall to the bottom. It's going to take over. It's going to, right now it's probably freaking out. It's more than likely in some type of shock. I've released its environment, all of its atmosphere. And there's a lot of soil content here, which probably indicates why it's been growing so well. I can't imagine what the root structure of this thing looks like. So, but when I put it in here, I'm going to figure out a way to slice this open and allow the roots to start pushing their way out of this bag. So two years worth of growth in a bag. So what I'm going to do is lift this whole thing out, put it on the plate, and reassess it all. That's what's going to happen next. Okay, so this is what it's been living off without algae. That's going into this jar right now. So those nutrient-rich liquid with condensed algae in it is absolutely a contributing factor to why this thing lived the way it did. So now it's a matter of cutting away this bag. Okay, there's an inner and an outer bag, so I might be able to drop this one down and lift it out one more time. Let's see. So every time I can do this, I can feel that this thing is losing its structure. I can feel the seed. There's the original seed right there. So the bags were what was holding this whole thing up. So honestly, I don't think this thing has got nearly as much root as I thought it did. So I got to be really careful right here with this and take this thing nice and easy. The less I transport this thing, the better off it is. I got to get it right now, just the way you see it. Remove some of this top layer of bag, but continue to support the root, because it's right there. That's the original seed, right there. I'm gonna tell you, this is risky. You know, I'm risking putting this thing into a whole lot of shock. Let's see how much I can get of this thing into the top of that bottle and keep the bag integrity until it gets to the bottom. Okay, that's something I didn't count on. I got a lot of dirt in there, and I hate to do this, but I gotta pull that thing out and get some of that soil out of there so this thing can drop right to the bottom. That's as far as it's going to go. So now I need is another one of these bottles to put over this whole thing and force this thing to have its whole new environment. And I'm gonna leave well enough alone for right now. That's how much soil I took out of this thing. So I want this thing to continue on its own path. I don't want to. I could very easily just transplant this thing just the way it is right now and let it restructure its own root system back into this new soil. But it's already so adjusted. This is pretty brittle right up here. Right up here, this is really brittle. If I was to try to force this in, I'll crack something. I really don't want to do that. But actually, it's not as rigid as I thought it was. So maybe I can do that. I can compress that down. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to put the lid on this. Force this all back. We'll put the lid on it. Force this all back down a little bit more, and see what happens. Okay. I compress this down into this dirt, and I'm going to pop this blue lid on top of this thing. I'm going to seal it and watch it for a couple days. If it doesn't go into some type of shock, I'll know it immediately, and then I'll reassess it, figure out what I'm going to do, because I want to break this original plastic bag open so that it so the root structure can start traveling out. Doesn't need to be much. Just a couple of simple holes poked in here with anything, pencil, anything to break the integrity of this bag open. It's already broken where the seed was. It's going to start shooting out almost immediately. It's going to recognize it. It's going to find it. So, you know, in the books that you read about transplants and things like that, they use the word see a lot, S-E-E, like sight. I never quite understood it. Like, I get it now. They see their own environment. They see where to go. So, anyway, 2 years. 2 years in that back. And now we got some other interesting ones going on. That's it.